And from the USS Love Boat, it's Paul George. And Paul, I have to ask you right off the get-go, what's it like being on the boat?
I've been shacked up with these guys for like 3 weeks, so kind of tired of them. But it's nice. It's not what people make it up to be. I think for us, it's just more so we're just private. We're secluded. It's just nice. It's nice to be around the guys and just build that chemistry with one another.
All right, tight after the first quarter. What was the huddle like after the Venezuelan game began, in a tight score?
Yeah, we had to change some things. I think the biggest thing was probably adjusting to the game. The game wasn't going our way to start out, but I thought Melo, KD, and Kyrie did a good job of giving us that offensive push. They made a couple shots to extend the lead, and once we broke free, it was kind of like, we kept our foot on the pedal, and we were able to come in with a second unit that really just extended that lead. But it was tough. They gave us a good run to start the game out.
Any reason why you were able to find your stroke and played as well as you did?
No, it's an adjustment for me. Coming off the bench is definitely different than starting. When I start, I get a rhythm automatically by just letting the game come to me. When you come off the bench, you got to find that rhythm pretty quick. Fortunate, I had guys like, DeMar, Kyrie, or Kyle, who were pushing the ball and, kind of get me into an easy flow. And, I was able to spot up for some easy threes.
How would you describe Coach K as a coach?
He's amazing. I think what makes him so special is, all of us are different and, we have different characteristics, different personalities, different egos. But he's able to kind of really just reach to us all the same way. It's a different conversation that he has amongst all of us, but he reaches us in the same way. That's pretty special in a head coach.
Does the team have a leader, and if so, who is it?
For sure. I think Melo and KD has been really the two front runners for that leader position. Each of them chime in and they lead in different ways. And Kyrie gives his twos in every now and then as well. So I think we're in good hands with those trio.
Obviously, your devastating leg injury, you had a lot of sympathy from a lot of people who realize how much that must have hurt. How often do you think about that in terms of where you are now playing for a gold medal?
No disrespect. Only time I really think about it is when the questions come up.
My bad.
I'm pretty much beyond it. I'm past it. It happened. I'm in a new place, a new mindset. It's really about fulfilling this childhood dream and winning a gold medal now. Again, it happened. I'm a better person, a better player because of it. And, I've moved on.
I'm sorry, Paul.
No, you're fine.
All right.
You're fine.
I really like your hat. Have a great night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Weren't the Olympics supposed to be the ones with those types of issues?
That, right?
Smooth sailing so far, and smooth sailing for Team USA in men's basketball. Another convincing win. They won by 44 tonight. Carmelo with 14 points passes MJ for sole possession of third place for most career points in Team USA Olympic history. He's also played the most games, passing LeBron and David Robinson. But this game was tied in the second quarter. Here's Paul George.
The game wasn't going our way to start out, but I thought Melo, KD, and Kyrie did a good job of giving us that offensive push. They made a couple shots to extend the lead, and once we broke free, it was kind of like, we kept our foot on the pedal, and we were able to come in with a second unit that really just extended that lead. But it was tough. They gave us a good run to start the game out.
No surprise, the U.S. sits atop Group A at 2-0, but Australia also undefeated. As for the rest of the group, France and China meeting tonight in a key game. Top 4 teams, remember, in each group advance to the knockout round. With more on Team USA, let's now go out to Rio de Janeiro and welcome in our Mark Stein. Mark, another game, another blowout. But it didn't start out that way. This game was tied after the first quarter. Why the slow start for the U.S.?
Doug, you got to give Venezuela a lot of credit. They really execute well. They're one of only 2 teams in this tournament with no NBA players because Grevis Vasquez Scott Van Pelt's beloved Grevis Vasquez had to pull out of this with a foot injury, still not recovered from the injury that cost him most of last season. But Venezuela does a great job of slowing the game down, of draining the shot clock down to the last second. And tonight, Gregory Ethenique, their burly center, was just drawing fouls left and right. He got DeMarcus Cousins in foul trouble from the jump. Both DeMarcus Cousins and DeAndre Jordan had 2 fouls in the first quarter. Cousins ended up fouling out, and Venezuela just controlled tempo, slowed the game down. Team USA didn't shoot it well. Look, nobody's going to get too concerned about it again. They win by 44. But at 18 all, the way this team has been just suffocating opponents defensively, it's a shock. It does send a ripple through the arena and press row when you look at the scoreboard, and it's only a tie. And they've got a much tougher game coming Wednesday against Australia. So maybe we are going to see a 2, 3, maybe even a 4-quarter game on Wednesday night.
Let's talk more.
Let's start with 2 quarters. Let's see if we get 2 quarters.
Let's talk about that game with Australia, also 2-0. What impact will tonight and that slow start have on the Australia game?
Well, I think if you're looking for any kind of parallel or any kind of area where Australia maybe can draw a little extra hope, it's that the Venezuela center Ethenique was able to get Cousins in so much foul trouble and initially get DeAndre Jordan in foul trouble. Australia has a great front line. Andrew Bogut, Aaron Baines, David Anderson, they've all played in the NBA. Bogut and Baines currently in the NBA. And Sasa Djordjevic, the great Serbian point guard, now their head coach, he said today Australia's front line is second to none in this tournament in terms of intensity, physicality. Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets young big man, who everybody in the States loves, really frustrated against the Australia bigs today when Australia beat Serbia. Australia's beaten France and Serbia by a combined 36. Those are 2 top teams. And Australia now, they look like legit medal material. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to Wednesday night because, frankly, they want to see the United States get pushed. And we know Australia will be physical. Matthew Dellavedova and Kyrie Irving, that is going to be a fun matchup to watch at point guard because Delly's going to be on Kyrie Irving, full court.
Yeah, former teammates in Cleveland. Of course, Delly has moved on. We'll see what happens in international play. That's our Mark Stein from Rio de Janeiro as the U.S. improves to 18-0 in Olympic play under Mike Krzyzewski. And let's revisit Carmelo Anthony's milestone night. 25 games now, the most all-time for Team USA in Olympic basketball. It breaks a tie with David Robinson and LeBron James. Also mentioned this as well. 262 points now. That's 3rd most in Team USA history. Past Michael Jordan tonight. He's now just 11 behind his former red, white, and blue teammate, LeBron James.
What sense did you get seeing KD for this first appearance there at Oracle, and now you've seen him play with Draymond and Clay, about how that's going to go?
Well, I think they'll have an adjustment period. There's no question about it. Playing with KD is fun. I've coached him twice. This will be the 3rd time I've coached him, and actually I almost made the Beijing team as a young guy from the select team. He's been that good. He's been with us the 11 years, and I see him grow. He's even better now because he's very competitive, a little bit more vocal, and is a good teammate. And that night I wanted it to be special for him because he's very sensitive, and he wants everyone to not necessarily like him, but respect him and think highly of him. So that decision knocked him back, I think, a little bit. And we've been talking.
The criticism that he engendered by deciding to go with the Warriors.
Yeah, one thing I told him, I said, when you're really good, you're going to be criticized, and you're going to be hated by a certain amount of people. Just if you win and if you're really good, that you might get 50 letters and 49 of them say how much they love you. Don't let the one letter ruin it. But we do a lot of times until you get a kind of immune to that. I said, so that's what you're going through now. And a lot of people are not going to like you because of the decision you made. I said, do you like the decision? He says, yes, I do. I said, well, all right. You don't have to answer to anyone else. Just let's get over this. I thought that night helped him get over it.
You know that from being at Duke.
I know.
You understand
I know
that.
what being loved and being hated, and with people not even knowing you. I know that, and thank goodness, because that means we've won. But we've always respected the game and people, and I did tell KD this. You know what? Even the people who say they do not like you, they respect you. And if they don't, they're knuckleheads, because then they don't respect excellence. And you know what, man? You are excellent. You're the best. So if someone doesn't like that, that's cool. But they should respect you. And that's what a competitive person should want, that respect.